Hello everybody, how you doing? This is Ricky.Schoonover with 8Z Real Estate, and you are tuned into Denver's monthly real estate podcast. This is the Denver Homes Market Report. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I appreciate you being here. Today is a very special episode of the Denver Homes Market Report. We've hit a little milestone right here. This is the very first episode of season 6. Many of you know I started this podcast back in the middle of the pandemic, back in April of 2020. And here we are rolling up on April of 2025. And this is now going to be our 6th season that we are embarking upon right now, starting with episode number 1 right here, right now. So we have a great show lined up for you today. But before I get into today's show, I must let you know that we are right here. We are at 1470 South Quebec Way. So 1470 South Quebec Way. We are in a fantastic townhouse. It's been completely remodeled. So we're talking quartz countertops, new cabinetry, appliances are all cleaned up, nice stainless steel appliances, new windows, newer windows and window treatments throughout the house. Nice sort of pet-proof, waterproof, kid-proof flooring down with this luxury vinyl plank flooring. And the place just looks fantastic. If you take a look around with me as we walk around here, we're about 1,000 square feet here. And we got the main floor. As you come up the stairs here and you come onto the main floor, right as you walk in on the right-hand side, you're gonna have the primary bedroom. There's also a bathroom there. And then here's what's really cool. From the main living area, there's also another door into the bathroom. So if you have guests coming or whatever, they don't have to go through the bedroom to get into the bathroom. You got your primary bedroom, you've got the bathroom right there, and then a separate guest entrance for that same bathroom. So that's on the main floor. Then it flows right into your living room and circles right around into your dining room. And then they've got this fantastic kitchen, huge sort of a peninsula cabinetry going all the way over here, and nice gray quartz countertops, beautiful white cabinetry, really a nice unit. And then you head downstairs, and as you go downstairs, you've got your utilities down there, your HVAC's down there. That's all been cleaned out and all been serviced recently. You got a bedroom down there. It also has its own bathroom and shower down there. And that comes right off of the garage. And the laundry is down there as well. So you got the washer and dryer down there, a bedroom down there, its own bathroom. So if you had maybe a mother-in-law which needed a little extra space and wants their own bathroom, that kind of thing. Maybe it's a teenager that just wants a little bit of extra space. Or maybe you're going to do like an Airbnb, and maybe you're going to have that separate bedroom down there and that separate bathroom down there for a guest like that. Then from there, you go right out to a nice 2-car garage. Big size 2-car garage, and it's got a insulated newer garage door and garage door opener. So this home is all set up. It's been completely remodeled. It's really beautiful, and we're working on getting this one to the market as we speak. Like, we have staging coming in. So special shout out to Karen Cat. I think it's called List Show. I don't remember her name, but anyway, we got the staging coming in for that. And then right behind that, we have orchestrated light coming in for photography. So we'll get that done at the later part of the week. It will be on the market as coming soon on Friday this week. And then the following Friday, it will go live. We won't have any showings because you know how I work. No showings on that Friday. But when we launch that open house on that Saturday at 11 a.m., boom, we're open for business. Can't wait to get you all down here and take a look at this particular unit. It is 1470 South Quebec Way. Be careful because there's a South Quebec Street as well, and it'll mess up the addresses. And then we are in unit 248. So just mark that up down. It's going to be coming into the system as coming soon. So you'll see that on Friday. The following Friday will be live in market. And then the very next day we kick things off with a beautiful grand opening open house. Well, I'm sure we're going to have lots of traffic in here. It'll be beautifully staged. Can't wait to have you. All right, so that's kind of what's going on right now in our world. I also wanted to update you. You know, there's a lot of online chatter or online sort of like jokes or quirks or whatever. I don't know what you really call these, where people are like, oh, realtors, they only like open the door for us, or they only put a for sale sign in the yard. Okay, if that's your realtor, if that is what you think a realtor does, is either put a for sale sign if you're selling your property or open the door for you when you're a buyer, you've got the wrong realtor. I'm sorry to break it to you. That's the minimal, the very minimal, not even the minimal of what we do. That's just a given. So today we're going to dedicate a little bit of time to what sets me as Ricky Schoonover of 8Z Real Estate apart from the other 28,000 active realtors that are out there in Colorado right now. I mean, obviously you have choices in your realtors, right? You probably know 12. That's kind of like our rule of thumb. We're like, hey, most people know about 12 realtors. So out of that dozen realtors, how do you rise to the top? How are you the one that they call when they're ready to transact? And so I just wanted to spend a little bit of time on that today. I've compiled a little bit of paperwork here in front of me, but one thing before we get to even that part of it that sets me apart, it's really funny. When you're getting your licensing, if anyone's ever applied or tried to get a license in real estate, or maybe you're a realtor and listening, then you're going to relate to this story. As you're doing that journey, however you do it, right? If you go to a college, you go to a junior college, if you take classes online, however you go to get your licensing, or maybe you're just really smart, not like me, but maybe you're just really smart and you just go in and take the exam and you pass it and you move on. There's some other steps to that, right? You gotta have your fingerprints done, so you get your fingerprints done, and then they do a background check, make sure you're not a criminal, and then beyond that, then they'll grant you your license, right? So you get your license from the state. So anyway, however that journey happens for you, they don't teach you how to practice real estate. Like, how do you get clients? How out of those 12 people that everybody knows as realtors, how do they pick you as their realtor? How do they pick me as your realtor? And they don't teach you that in school. So that's something you kind of have to have intrinsic in your DNA. It's something in your personality. You've got to like, first of all, not having regular paychecks because you don't get a regular paycheck. You got to like not having a 401k because you don't get a 401k. You got to like not having health care because you don't get health care or eye care or dental care or any of that. Those are all things that are sort of in a lot of different industries. That's sort of a given, right? It's part of your package. You get your pay, you get some health care, you get some dental care, whatever it is. Now, I'm very lucky. You know, my husband is a professor, so I'm able to piggyback along with some of those things with him, but I still don't have a 401k, right? I don't have an employer match sort of thing or anything like that. Anything I do is saved from me. But, you know, I'm not complaining. I love being a realtor. It's something I do. It's in my DNA. And I think that's really what I'm getting back to, is that you're not taught the ins and outs of how to make relationships and how to, you know, work contracts and get them to the end of the closing table. And you're not taught like that you're going to have to work with their sellers because their mindset may not be, even though they want to sell, it's such a monumental task to get the house cleaned up and get it all cleared out, allowing me as a professional to advise them to bring in a stager. A lot of people are like, oh, my furniture is fine. No, it's not. Your furniture is not fine. As beautiful as it might be, we want to have professional staging whenever we possibly can. It just does better. That's just bottom line. You can argue that your furniture is great. I'm sure my furniture I think is great, but it's for me, right? Or that furniture is for you. It's not for the masses. And stagers have that down to a science, down to an art of making sure that the space has the type of furniture that is going to evoke a certain emotion as people walk into the home that's going to help you sell your house for more money. So that's the bottom line there. And so you just don't get taught these things. You don't get taught that, you know, sellers might, you know, they have maybe have a lot of stuff in their house and you're trying to get them to clear it out, and that's really painful. You know, they have a lot of tchotchkes or, you know, little things or whatever, and they just, you know, they don't want to give all that stuff up. And so you're there as a realtor to sort of be a psychologist, right? Put on a psychologist hat and talk to them through and get them to that point, let them see what the end game is. And that's a lot of what I do. And then coaching, right? Coaching through the contract, coaching through when things get a little sticky. So today, we're going to take a few moments and we're just going to talk about what makes Ricky Schoonover of 8Z Real Estate, set aside or sort of highlight the sort of value that I can bring to the table that maybe many other realtors out there can't. I have a few things in the feather in my cap that nobody else can bring because they just haven't been doing it long enough. But then there's other things that other people could be doing, but I do it in a unique way. So let's just point out a couple things. I'm not going to take you all day today, but let's just talk about, first of all, experience. Okay, experience. We can talk about experience all day long, but I can tell you, I got licensed in 2003. Most of you know that. I've been licensed in multiple states, and I've bought and sold real estate, flipped homes, and everything else in multiple states. And what I can tell you is I am a better realtor in 2025 than I was in the early to mid 2000s. It's just bottom line, right? I've seen more transactions. I've seen more things in the houses. I've seen things that more items that come up with sellers that sort of make their blood boil, or some things in buyers where it kind of makes them step back from the transaction. I've just seen the situations over the years. And I've also collaborated, right? I've got a huge team in front of me, whether that be my listing coordinator, my transaction coordinator, my listing manager, or my colleagues that I check in with every week, my team leads. I just have more experience in those sort of things. So I'm a better realtor today than I was in the mid to early 2000, and that just comes with experience, seeing things that you don't always see. So I've got a great team behind me, and that's not just my 8Z team. You know, we also have a title company in our umbrella. That's Blue Sky Title. We also have a mortgage company under our umbrella. And you as my client, you're not required, there's no requirement to use any of those services, but they're there for you if you want to use them, and they're great resources, and they work really, really hard for all of us here at AZ to make sure that your transaction goes smooth. So I have a great team behind me. And then beyond that, all my contractors, I have an army of contractors. No matter what you need, even like before the sale, after the sale, well beyond the sale, after you and I have already conducted, whether you are a buyer or a seller, if you're running into a situation, you need a roofer, you need HVAC, you need plumbing, you need a paint job, whatever you need, your house cleaned, whatever it is, I probably have someone that's in my Rolodex per se, that I could refer to you to do a great job, who have done great things for either me personally or my clients or my colleagues. So having that team is really important. And that brings me to my next step, which is community, right? It takes a village, and that sounds sort of funny, but it's true. It really takes a village. And that's not even just talking about my team, but that's also talking about my relationships with other realtors, other brokerages, title companies, appraisals, home inspectors, all those sort of things. Those relationships are so important. Case in point, this townhouse right here, I reached out to Karen Cat, and she does my staging, and I was like, Karen, I need staging by Thursday. And she's like, Ricky, I am 3 weeks into April on a wait list. She got back to me in about an hour, and she's like, look, I've moved some things around. We had a cancellation. I'm going to plug you in for Wednesday. So here we are on Monday, and Wednesday, we have the home being staged. So those are the types of relationships, those positive relationships that are so important in real estate to help get you, as my clients, I texted them and said, we almost didn't get staging because they were so busy. I was gonna have to get on the phone and start calling around, reaching out to my colleagues and trying to find somebody else that can do it, because the stager my preferred stager, they were all booked up for the next 3 weeks, and we're going to market in 2 weeks. So that just wasn't gonna work. My stager came through for me, and now we're getting it staged in just a couple of days here, moving on to that with photography. Just think about that. Just you hire a realtor to help you out in purchasing or selling a property or buying a property. Their experience and the relationships and the community around them are just so important. And then it also comes down to even like a little bit more, we can even drill down on that, right? Like I volunteer. I have so much volunteer service. I volunteer with the Arts District on Santa Fe. It's a great organization, nonprofit. All their mission is to promote the galleries and the members that belong to the Arts District on Santa Fe that make up ADSF. It's a fantastic organization. I've served on their board for about 2.5 years now, going up on to my 3rd year. And I always try to stay involved with the community. If it's not with ADSF, my husband and I, we do community events in our home. We're doing community events called Long Table. That's going to be with the La Alma Lincoln Park Neighborhood Association, where everyone puts together a little potluck and goes to this party. So I'm doing that tomorrow afternoon. And then working with local radio, Calvin Parker Jr., he runs Denver Open Media. We did some sponsorships with them, so trying to help support local radio. We didn't do it this year because they were in another office and they moved offices, and we haven't reconnected on the sponsorship. But that type of stuff, staying engaged with the community, knowing what's going on with the community and our neighbors, it's just so important. And then, hands-on. And it comes back to that. If you're hiring a realtor to, put a for sale sign out front or open the door for you, that's the wrong realtor. All these other things that I'm talking about bring up to make a value-added asset for you when you're coming to purchase a home or sell a home, either way. And then it comes down to being your coach, right? I mentioned this earlier. Being your coach, being your psychologist. It's all about mindset, right? Mindset. Regardless if you're purchasing a home, that buyer consultation, when you'll reach out to me and say, hey, Ricky, we're thinking about buying a home, you'll know the very first step is, okay, let's meet at my office. Let's go through a buyer consult. And that buyer consultation is so important. Same thing with sellers. A lot of times we'll meet at the home so I can get a good look at the home for the initial walkthrough. But again, we want to meet at my office, go through the whole entire process, come up with some what ifs, like what if this happens, what if that happens, what about the timing, get everything down. So that way we provide clarity, all right, control, and confidence. So clarity comes from me providing to you the process. And then the control part of it, you as my client make all the decisions. So all the decisions are yours. I'm just going to provide you with the data, provide you with the options, let you know what I've seen in the past and what possible outcomes we could see. And then you make the decisions. So you make all the decisions. And if we work together with that synergistic of clarity and control, that gives us both confidence that we're going to get you to the closing table. So just think of those 3 C's: clarity, control, confidence. Clarity by me controlling the process, you making all the decisions because you are in control, and then when we work in that synergistic relationship, confidence. So that comes to the whole package of working with Ricky Schoonover at 8Z Real Estate. All right, so that's a little bit there. Then what else kind of sets me apart? Well, first of all, we're on this podcast right now. So let's give a quick plug. I believe the subscribe button is right there. So hit that subscribe button here on the Denver Homes Market Report. We have been going for 5 full years now. Today's our first episode of season 6. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see we got about 1,500 subscribers, 1,400 subscribers, somewhere in there. And a bunch of listeners. Look through all my podcasts. There's hundreds and hundreds of listens. So when you list with me, I'm going to go out there and say, hey, check out my new listing, 1470 South Quebec Way, Unit 248, come to market this coming week. So now we have an audience. Now you know about 1470 South Quebec Way, Unit 248. Call me about it if this unit kind of sounds like something would fit for you. It's got a little balcony out here at the back with a sliding glass door. It's got a nice, open concept as far as the living room, dining room, this gorgeous kitchen here with these quartz countertops and white cabinetry. Main floor living, so your bedroom is right here, your primary bedroom's right here, primary bath with a separate entrance for your guests. And then you go downstairs, you got a nice 2-car garage with insulated door, newer. And then you go into your utilities, your washer and dryer. There's another bedroom downstairs, sort of a garden level. It's not really in the basement, sort of a garden level because your window is right there at the sort of eye level. And it's got its own bathroom and with a shower down there. So you got a full bathroom up here, or three-quarter bathroom up here, 3/4 bathroom downstairs, and 2 bedrooms, little outdoor space. Gorgeous, gorgeous townhouse community here. So 1470 South Quebec Way, Unit 248. Give me a call, 720-688-5110 if you have any further questions about this particular unit. And so this podcast is another avenue where we get more eyes on my listings. So you hire me, I'm going to put it out on my podcast. We're going to show your particular property to some buyers, some potential buyers that maybe would never have known about this particular property without listening to the Denver Homes Market Report. So that's another value add. Now the other one, I'm the housing and relocation specialist for the largest employer in Colorado. That's right. If you go to the CU Advantage Perks website, that is where a new hire from the University of Colorado is sort of directed to, where you set up your health care, you set up your child care, you look for resources on your 401k, those sort of things, and housing. So if you go on there and you click on there, it's going to say, hey, are you looking to relocate, you're looking to purchase a home, sell a home? You go on there and it directly links you to me so I can get you help going in the right direction on that. So I am the housing and relocation specialist for the University of Colorado. And then my negotiating skills. I have really strong negotiating skills. I won't go into it. Part of it's classified, so I probably can't go into too much of it. Now, most of you know I was in the Navy way back in '94 till about 2000, and I was a helicopter rescue swimmer, which was supposed to be like a high value asset, or maybe an asset that maybe could be captured fairly easily. So I won't go into too many details, but if you want to know about my negotiating skills, go in and just Google SERE U.S. Navy or U.S. Navy SEER School, and you'll hear all about it or see all about it. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff online. That way I don't have to disclose it to you. All right, and then beyond all that, it's getting you to the closing table, right? It goes back to those relationships, goes back to that community, working with the different brokerages out there, working with the different home inspectors out there, working with the contractors out there, and all the other realtors out there. Having those relationships and having those positive connections can really help when I'm working for you, that we have mutual respect, right? Professional respect. I want the best deal for you as my buyer, as my seller, just as the other realtor over there wants the best deal that they can get for their buyer or seller, and you want to keep that professional. And those professional relationships are going to help you as the buyer or the seller working with me get you to that closing table. And then it doesn't end there, right? Beyond the closing table, it doesn't end. I will keep in contact with you and invite you to parties and invite you to get-togethers. In fact, we're doing the Rockies opening day on April 4th on Friday, not this coming Friday, but the following Friday. And I'm inviting all my clients, potential clients, and I'm inviting you and my podcast there. All you need to do is text me and say, hey, I would like to come to that party you were talking about for the Rockies opening day. As many of you know, our office is right there at 2809 Larimer Street. You do have to RSVP because we have some food trucks coming. We got brats and burgers and tacos, things like that, beer, wine, sodas. All of it's free to you, but you do have to RSVP. So if you're interested in coming to that party, it starts at 11 o'clock, goes till about 1:30, 2 o'clock. I think the game starts at 2. So we'll be out there. We got a nice, beautiful courtyard. We'll have some music and some food and some drinks and just some camaraderie. It's great energy down there in the Rhino Arts District around this opening day. And then, if you are going to the game, great. If you're not going to the game, like I'm probably not going to go to the game, but if you're going to the game, great. You go on to the game. You can take a ride share from there. You can ride one of those scooters. Not me, but if you want to ride one of those scooters, you can, or a bicycle, whatever, and head off to the game from our office. It's pretty short. Or if you just want to walk, it's not that far either. But anyway, 11 o'clock till about 2 o'clock, you do have to RSVP. So if you're interested in coming to our opening day get together, just shoot me a text, 720-688-5110, and just say, hey, Ricky, I saw you on the podcast, Denver Homes Market Report, and I would love to come to your Rockies opening day celebration there at your office. If you do that, then I will set you up with a link so you can go in and RSVP as my guest, and then you're welcome to come over and join us. All right, so that's going to wrap up today's podcast. We're a little over on time, but I had a lot of information I wanted to send out to you. Once again, if you have any questions about this particular townhouse, it's coming to market in about a week. Give me a call, and you can also go to my website. It's going to be on my featured website, or my featured listings on my website really soon, probably within the week. But in the meantime, just give me a call, 720-688-5110. And once again, this townhouse is 1470 South Quebec Way, Unit 248, about 1,000 square feet, all move-in ready to go. You move in, just come in here. We'll have the staging already out of here. You just come in here, put your furniture in here, and you can just relax, right? Enjoy your new townhouse, move-in ready. Pricing on this one, we're still looking at the pricing, but we're looking right around $430,000 to come into market. So $430,000. All right, and that's going to wrap up for today's podcast. Thank you very much. Once again, this is Ricky Schoonover with 8Z Real Estate, and you have been tuned into the Denver Homes Market Report. Today's the first episode of Season 6. Please hit that subscribe button. I think it's right there on YouTube, or it might be right there. But anyway, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next month.